All right, Scott, we are live with the first Dunkast YouTube video here. I have no idea what we're doing. Never used StreamYard before. This is my first YouTube broadcast, but we're gonna give it a shot.
Don't worry, StreamYards is so easy, any idiot can do it.
Yeah, fortunately, I'm an idiot, and I seem to be doing it. So I can even change these banners around. So God bless StreamYard. So yeah, Scott, let's talk about a little project that we're working on together. We do some co-writing. I've done some editing for you in the past. We've known each other for years upon years. Let's talk about this little thing that we're bringing to IndieGoGo, Sidekick Island. Why don't you tell me about it? Like I don't know.
Well, Sidekick Island, has this. This is an interesting project. I mean, I as much as I want to take full credit for this, like I do with everything,
Sure.
I really got to hand it to you. This is your baby originally, the germ of the idea. I mean, I think it's fully a collaborative project now, but this is something that, birthed originally from your brain, just the high concept. And as soon as I heard it, I knew I wanted to be part of this. I know you and I have been looking for an opportunity to write something together for a while. And so this has been a great experience so far. That being said, well, what is it? What is Sidekick Island? Well, sidekicks are the bane of any good superhero. They're the plucky companion they have to drag around and train, and it's almost like the purpose of sidekicks is to get in trouble so the hero has somebody to save that's not an innocent, right? So they purposely are written poorly, I think, sometimes. Just look at as great as Robin is when he's good, think of all the dumb things that he's done over the years.
Right. Yeah. Could you imagine the kind of liability insurance Batman has to carry just to have him as a sidekick?
Good night, right? So, and as good as bad as Robin is, he's about as good as they get when it comes to sidekicks, and they only get worse. And he is one of the classics, Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age. There's all these sidekicks, and then you had Teen Titans, which was essentially a superhero group of sidekicks. Teenagers that have no idea what they're doing. The New Mutants, on the Marvel side, they were kind of like, the X-Babies, right? Oh, we're not X-Babies. Well, bullshit, you were X-Babies. And so we're taking that whole thing, and then we're also melding with a lot of these modern kind of woke tropes that we're seeing in modern, Marvel and DC. And we're smashing it all together because ultimately nobody wants to see the hero come in and save these sidekicks. They want to see them do it on their own. And so that's what Sidekick Island is. It's 44 sidekicks thrust on an island. Some are individuals, some are in teams, but they all have to survive. And only one can last to the final. So what happens to them? Do they lose? Do they get kicked off the island? No, they die horrible deaths. This is a satire of modern and Bronze Age sidekick superhero tropes, and we get to see them die in the funniest and sometimes bloodiest manner possible. Right. And I love. I just it's a send off of Battle Royale from the '90s and Hunger Games. From the 2000 teens, a lot of this stuff that we've kind of come. I mean, it's pretty dark stuff when you think about it. So it's interesting that all that's being offered as almost team fare. So I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, it's Hunger Games but with superpowers, right?
That's exactly right. So and it's the whole game is controlled by the mastermind, I guess you could say, which is Arcadia. She's the one actually that Joel's drawing on the screen right now.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that. That's he's literally inking Lady Arcadia right this very minute.
And no, I should add, it's not live. I mean, as much as it's as cool as that would be to have him drawing her live while we're talking about it. But this is a bit of video that we'll be throwing up on our social accounts here in the next day or so. You know, and maybe that's a good opportunity to kind of introduce some of the creative team that's working with us on this book.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, first of all, we got Joel Ojeda here inking away that beautifully penciled page. You can kind of see that he's, I believe this is page, I want to say 7. I didn't check the script, but I want to say 7. Like a proper artist, he doesn't bother to fill out his little header that's available at the top of the page. No artist, no veteran artist ever seems to. So he's based out of Mexico. I can't remember what region he's from, but he's a veteran. He's done a little bit of work for DC. I can't remember all of his credits. I know he's done some work for Zenescope, like 99% of every up and coming artist in the industry. He's worked on a DC book. I believe his only DC credit is a project called The Death of Superman, and has a subtitle. It wasn't obviously not The Death of Superman from the early 90s, something new apparently that DC did to kill Superman again. But yeah, so he's you know, so he's worked for some major publishers, as you can see with his video here, that there's a reason for that. The colorist, let me switch to the finished cover here. That's our cover for the book. So the colorist here is, and those sketches in the background are more stuff from Joel, and you can kind of see some of the character names if you squint. The colorist is a guy by the name of Milan Parnavov. I've never said that name out loud. I apologize for butchering it. He's got a pretty decent amount of credits between IDW, I believe Zenescope. I don't have my list of credits in front of me, but he's been around the block. You know, that's a pretty sharp looking cover there that he did for us. The particular penciler on that cover is another industry veteran by the name of Eduardo Garcia, who's worked on Spider-Man for Marvel Comics and a number of things for IDW. He's been around the block for the last 20 years or so. You know, he's got that cover there. And then Joel's inking himself, so we don't have an inker per se. And then letterer is a guy that you brought in from one of your projects, Door Kickers, Eric Weathers. What's he worked on besides Door Kickers? I think he has his own IndieGoGo campaign going right now, doesn't he?
So here, yeah, he does. Battle Brick Road is on. I believe it's in demand right now on IndieGoGo. Speaking of another project that he did that I am also a part of, that is on IndieGoGo right now, Peregrine Wings of the Falcon. He did Ethan's recent Cyber Frog, Unforgettable Tales. He did the letters on those. He's done letters on literally John Malin's stuff, the Graveyard Shift. So okay. He's done letters for everybody. He's just you know, he didn't have a huge amount of experience a couple years ago, but man, he gets around.
He's been put through his paces.
He's a full-on pro. He's a full-on lettering pro, and I don't know how he does it all and puts out his own books. You know, so you know, anybody listening to this, I definitely recommend you guys check into anything Eric does. He's good people.
Sounds good. Well, we're happy to have him on Sidekick Island. Yeah, so that's the creative team. I'm just kind of lamely slipping through our banners here.
You know, looking at this original art, man, I think we need to be selling some of this original art when we go live with this campaign.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've had some conversations with Joel about that since he pencils and inks the old-fashioned way. He's not inking digitally. And he's putting that on artboard as you can clearly see. So I think that we should put together a couple different original art tiers so we can give away a book. You know, what cover is to be determined. And since this book has so many double page spreads, they're not technically double page spreads, but there's spreads with multiple panels on them, right? That kind of overlap each other, that you're going to have to sell together. I think we should sell single pages and these quasi DPS pages as their own unique perks. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's probably smart. I mean, you know, I'll be honest with you. You know, when I was growing up, reading comics, you know, original art, I just wasn't even aware that the original art market was even out there. And
Right.
B, when I finally did start to see original art in the late 90s, I think honestly, the first time I really saw any original art was at San Diego Comic-Con.
Sure.
And you just, I mean, it was still like kind of out of reach. But one of the things I love about these crowdfunding campaigns, if you've got physical art, I mean, this is an easy way, an accessible way for people. They don't have to go to some specialized art dealer and get into the, you know, get down the rabbit hole of the original art market. And it's not.
They shouldn't have to. You know, it's. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I mean,
it's accessible. That's it.
Exactly, and these backers are bringing these books to life. So why should they have to go through a middleman to get a tangible piece of that?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So anyway, I just, you know, I love the fact that you know, especially creating these books, all of a sudden, you know, I've got access to a lot of original art. I'm actually pulling out my desk drawer here, and I'm looking at some of the covers that Ted Lehman sent me for Door Kickers. I mean, just, you know, it's especially, I think, satisfying for us as the creators, because we get to see these original pieces of artwork to get in the hands of our fans, and you know, it's just kind of adds to that connection that we have as creators to the customers, and ultimately, you know, we're able to kind of respond to the market too. You know, here within the IndieGoGo crowdfunding scene, if people want something, then we can give it to them. You know, and we can definitely make on the fly changes to our campaign and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, because when people see this art, they're, you know, if it's within their means, they're going to want to get on board with some of this stuff. So.
Yeah, that's right. Well, this is my first comic book that I've actually helped bring to life in this way, where I'm, you know, writing and helping traffic the pages, I believe the term is. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to having fans. So that'll be. I
hear you, man. I hear you. I'm new to it too. I mean, Door Kickers just recently shipped out, and you know, I've been seeing people post their stuff up, and so it's just been a really cool experience and a great community to be part of. You know, so this is a big community, right? And it's specifically, I know, Duncan, that you are not officially Comicsgate, right? But you definitely agree with a lot of the things that we stand for. And, you know, as part of this ongoing series of stuff that we're going to be talking about on your channel specifically, and while we're marketing Sidekick Island, is I want to start introducing you to Comicsgaters and other people that are part of this, you know, community. And so I'm hoping that, you know, we can get some other people on your channel. But for the first, I wanted to just bring on somebody who is just a really nice person who I recently have started to get to know. She did some commissions for me. I'm working on a project called Necrosia, and she did some drawings for me. And, you know, concept sketch kind of stuff. And she is a manga artist, and her name is Carla. And if you want to just go ahead and bring her in, we can let her introduce herself. And
absolutely. How do you pronounce your last name, Scott?
Don't ask me. Bring her in and ask her, man. I don't want to massacre it.
All right, sounds good. It looks Italian to me, so I'm going to screw up the double L's. I know that. All right, we're bringing her in.
Hello.
All right. Welcome to the Dunkast. How you doing?
Thank you so much, Duncan. Hello. Well, thank you so much for this great introduction. And yes, the origins of my last name are Italian, both of them. If Tornielli is hard for you, then Misiaglia is gonna be even worse. That's my second. So yeah, you say Tornielli, but some people in comics they call me Tortellini. They just try to make it easier for them.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to pronounce it like it was Italian, so my instincts weren't right. I was just confused by the double L's.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just like just as you read, you pronounce. There's no like weird sounds or anything. But well, maybe that's for me because I speak Spanish originally. But yeah, I can get a little messy. So well, thank you so much for having me on, guys.
Yeah.
So Carla,
we can see it.
One of the key things I wanted to do is to introduce Duncan to some CGers so he can see that we're not all evil, baby killing, hate mongering, because, as everybody knows, in the comics industry, CG is a hate group. So let's hear about some of your hate, Carla.
I'm very evil, so probably you're gonna have to kick me out.
Do you eat babies? Let's get that covered.
I'm actually making a baby, but
okay.
Well.
You have not. You need to get this on
that's what I mean.
Carla, by the way, Carla, how far along are you now?
I'm 5 months now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going so fast, and it's my first one, so I'm like discovering what this is all about. Yesterday was her first kick, and my husband actually felt the kick, so we're very happy about that. But like, I have absolutely no idea what's going on, what's going to happen. Like, everybody tell me, oh, you're gonna have like big feet, and you're gonna have this problem, and then you're gonna eat ice cream with pickles, and then like, oh, but every pregnancy is different. It depends on the person. Like, okay, what what do I expect, right? So I'm just discovering as I go, and it's very interesting, definitely.
Well, congratulations. You get to look forward to kind of learning as you go for the next 30 years. Each stage is completely different, and no one ever knows what they're really doing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, thank you very much. This is the reason why I wanted to mention a little bit about myself, because I'm just like here, like, hello, I'm Carla. I'm not saying anything about myself. People's gonna be like, okay, but what do you do? Why are you what are you here? I'm actually a manga artist. Right now, my husband and I are the creators of The Green Reaper and The Green Reaper 2. He's a writer and I am a manga artist. And right now, like, I was just fulfilling. Look, these are the mailers where you I was just signing all the books. This is our book, and we are in the middle of the process of fulfillment, which is a very long process, but it's really, really cool because I just can't wait for people to receive the books. But anyway, I'll try to not to branch out because I love talking.
So, a couple quick questions. Is the things that you're mailing out, was that part of a crowdfunding campaign?
Yes, exactly. Yes, these are the books that we sold.
Okay.
We sold 3 books in the same campaign. We sold issue 1, issue 2. Look, here I have issue 1 and issue 2. I don't know if, like, I think you mentioned this was your first book, Sidekick, right? Sidekick Island. Yeah, like it's a big learning process. It's just like pregnancy. You go learning as you go. Look, these are our comic babies. We call them our comic babies. This is a sexy pinup we included, but we are selling three books like in the same like tier. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're also been selling t-shirts, selling well, and right now with all this virus thing that is going on, it's a little bit more difficult than usual to get to the providers, and not all the companies are open or taking orders. So it's been a hassle. But thank goodness, everything is going well. We are just in the final phase of the process, that is just mailing and shipping, and there you go.
Right. And did you do that campaign on IndieGoGo? Is it in demand, or how?
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's called the Green Reaper 2. That's
Okay.
the campaign we have right now open. It's in demand, I think, since March. This campaign has been, oh my God, I can't tell you how crazy it has been. Just let me tell you that we launched in January, and the 6th of January, our house burned down and we lost everything we had. Everything. Like,
Oh my
my
God.
graphic tablet, the computers, the electronics, everything. What hurts the most are the electronics, right? Because you have everything there, like the pictures and stuff, all the clothes, everything burned. So that's a very interesting story, because actually people from Comicsgate, they made a GoFundMe for us, and they helped us like buy the graphic tablet and stuff to keep working on the project. Of course, I started from scratch, but we never expected that from them. It's just so amazing. So that's why here in the book, like our first page, we dedicated some words to all of them. It's just been something so beautiful and so heartwarming. So like, you know, we are kind of new to Comicsgate. We're not like the people that's been for years in there, but wow, that experience was like, wow. These people, like, they act like family. They do act like family. Wow.
Carla, was your project part of Comicscape before they started the GoFundMe?
Yes. The thing is that we, at first, look, we just hit the launch button, and we weren't anything. We barely had Twitter accounts. We had like 3 people following in each Twitter account. We started from zero, but from zero, I swear. And then we started like networking, meeting people, just being nice. You know, like some people is like, oh, how do you do? Just be nice and respectful, fulfill. Do what you say you're gonna do. It's not rocket science.
Yeah.
However,
be supportive of the people that are being supportive of you, and it seems like a simple thing, right?
The people is amazing. Like, you have no idea. Like, you're like, I think I'm gonna do this with my campaign, and people's like, yeah, retweet, share, like, comment. Yeah, I want 2 of them. I know somebody that likes that. I'm gonna tell them like that. Like, they don't need to support you like that, and they do. So, and it's not one of people that are like that. It's the whole group. So we just love the community. I have nothing bad to say. Like, of course, no place or no community is perfect, of course, but we stick to the fans that we have. They are amazing. They are always there supporting us. We have our YouTube channel, which is called White Cat Comics, and we stream there just like you guys were streaming and interacting with the backers and showing them the parts of the process. Sometimes I draw live and stuff. So it's like this very like close relationship we have with our clients, and it's wonderful, because like before, you just bought a comic in the store and that's it. Like, you have no idea, like, I mean, you know the name of who did it, but that's pretty much it, right? Like, you don't interact with them. So it's oh, my English. It's really nice, really nice.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Now you do how-to manga books, is that correct?
I'm not doing books. I would like to do a book now that you mentioned. You just gave me the idea. Well, the thing is that my husband and I, we have White Cat Comics, which is like our company, right?
Okay.
Like the family business. And we stream and we interact with everybody there. However, we decided to like branch a little bit, and each one of us having like our own space, to call it a way. Because my husband, he's very into politics. He likes a lot of political comment, right? So he started like a show, like some kind of series discussing those kind of topics. However, I'm not very much into that. Like, yeah, like, I mean, I can say, yeah, I agree with this, I agree with that, but that's pretty much it. Like,
Sure.
I just want to focus on my art, and that's all. Like, I don't care who buys my comics. I just care that people want to read it, and that's all. So I decided to open my own YouTube channel, which is called Mangaka Mom, under the premise of there's only two things that I'm going to be the rest of my life. That's a mother and a manga artist. And I think that it's going to be very like interesting to see how I managed to keep working as a manga artist, because as you know, that's very demanding. Like, drawing comics is very demanding.
Yeah.
And also having a baby, that also is very demanding. So what I'm going to do, I don't know. I don't know. So I decided like to share that like the journey with everybody. And yeah, sometimes people will see me struggle, but well, it's gonna be fun. I don't know. And I also I'm including like all the manga stuff I do. Because of course Comicsgate is more oriented to Western kind of comics. However, there's some manga, but it's not like that. Like, you see a lot of manga. You have like a couple manga projects, but it's still like developing. So I wanted to do something like more like anime and manga. And I started to do some tutorials. Yes, it's just the things that I've learned in my journey as a manga artist that I would like everybody else that want to start, like, it's the kind of things that I would like to have known, or that somebody told me when I started, you know, kind of advice. Some of them are technical advice about actually doing manga, and some others are like how to make decisions, like not how to make decisions, but like some orientation, because this whole artist realm is a little bit confusing for a lot of people, especially like when you want to start like from zero and you have no idea what to do. So I just share my experience, hoping that it can help future artists.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
So
people should check out your channel.
Sorry, what?
People should check out your channel.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link here, or maybe you can comment.
Yeah, send it in the private chat, and I'll put it in the banner.
Awesome.
I'm acting like I know how this software works, but let's give that a go.
So Carla shows us that you know, Comicsgate is definitely an interesting group of folks who come together to work together, to laugh together, to, you know, overcome issues. It's a very supportive community. So Duncan, I'm just, you know, I'm not going to give you the hard sell every day, but, you know, from time to time, I'm definitely going to remind you that, hey, listen, it's not all you know, white hoods and swastikas over here. You know, we have
I'm sorry, that's just funny to me. No, it's not. Of course, it's not.
I hope that nobody who hears this video takes me serious at all in how I'm in that, but you know, we've got a great community.
I mean, there's already someone that's stalking me that thinks I'm a comic skater on Twitter already.
Yeah, because you support anything Comicsgate, then that means you
right.
know.
Yeah, because I shared one of your door kickers tweets or something, so I'm automatically painted with that broad brush as of baby eaters.
That's right.
Baby eaters, oh my god. That's terrible. That definitely sounds very devilish.
Yes.
I would say, like, even inside Comicsgate, you have so many like different kinds of, I don't know if approaches, but like, it's not that we are like, I mean, of course there's values that we all have as creators, like the essential values, like being respectful, doing quality books, that kind of stuff. But also, like, some people say, for me, Comicsgate is this. And some other people say, for me, Comicsgate is this other thing. And everybody, like, gives their own meaning also. It's not like everybody's like robots thinking exactly the same thing and doing exactly the same thing. And like, yeah, because I'm Comicsgate, you have to assume that I do this and do that. Like, I think there's a lot of prejudice. I don't know the word in English, but like people prejudging, like putting tags in you and saying, oh yeah, you do this because you're a Comicsgater, right?
Right.
So yeah.
Well, I mean, it's painting with a broad brush, and obviously there's a lot of strong feelings between the founders of Comic Gates and some of the people that they've had confrontations with back and forth on what I believe is referred to as the mainstream side of things. So there's some strong feelings there. So people are trying to lump people into small little boxes, and at the end of the day, I'm a pretty political person, but I don't want politics in my comics. I'm not going to deny someone a job on my project because I don't agree with their politics unless they actually are a Nazi or a baby eater. Like baby eating is a political stance in my world, I guess. And someone certainly doesn't need to have their life or their career destroyed or have their family harassed because their political views are different than theirs.
Exactly.
It's unfortunate that America's culture war has reached a stage where, in a lot of ways, it's tearing not necessarily the industry of comic books apart, but certainly the community of comic books apart. It's filtering us into two different camps, just like we're being filtered in America into two different camps ideologically right down the line. And I don't want to do that. I've known Scott for way too long. I know exactly what kind of person he is. Without even getting into his military service, I know damn well that he's a good human being. He's always had my back. We've always been friendly. We could easily have been taking pot shots at each other on social media over our political differences over the 10 years we've been on Facebook and Twitter, but we don't. Not to the degree where it becomes a huge conflict and destroys a relationship. So I'm not, destroying relationships over politics when we're just trying to make cool comics is like one of the dumbest things in the world. Let Ethan and Gail have their grudge. Let whatever his name is, Zach or Richard Meyer or whatever, I don't know what his name is. Let him have his conflicts with whomever he wants to have a conflict with. But that doesn't mean that, because I'm a liberal, I should be fighting with everybody on the comics case side of things. First of all, I don't want to because I don't want to waste my time doing that. I want to make stuff.
Definitely.
And if Scott was only wanted to hire fellow conservatives, we wouldn't be seeing this art that Joel's doing here because Joel's as liberal as I am, so that doesn't really make any sense, does it? And maybe Joel's not exactly as liberal as I am because he's Mexican and I'm American and our politics aren't completely dovetailed together, but not that we want to make the first Dunkast all about politics, but I mean that's kind of my stance is like stop painting with such a broad brush. Stop harassing people on Twitter. Go make something and maybe you'll be happier. And stop trying to destroy people's ability to create things. That's kind of my take. And if that goes for any comics gators that engage in that, as well as anyone who's seems to make it a hobby of harassing people who are involved with Comicsgate projects, or even just tweets out their support to somebody's Comicsgate project. It stopped making sense a long time ago, and everyone just needs to cool out. For God's sakes, we've even turned wearing masks during a 100-year pandemic into politics in America. It's the dumbest thing in the world, and I'm just absolutely finished with it.
So on that note, let's talk about our non-political comic book a little bit. Carla, have you had a chance to look at any of the artwork we've been posting?
Yes, and it's amazing. Like I told you, you showed me the cover,
Yeah.
and I've seen the cover, how it developed. I saw it from, it was a sketch and then it was color, and it's looking awesome. I remember you show it to me, and I also show it to my husband, and he's like, "Oh, that looks really good." And I also think the concept is something very, very fun. I think people's gonna be so excited when you guys launch. When are you planning to launch?
Well, I mean, so essentially it's all about getting everything together we need for the campaign page. So we're putting together a video that'll highlight a lot of the art from like pages 4 and 5, I think. And we're getting that colored, and there's a couple panels from a later page that we wanted to get done and colored. And then once that's all colored and the video's done, probably that would be when,
Awesome.
So I'm hoping end of the month, maybe the last week of August.
Awesome. Also, very soon.
Yeah.
How do you feel, Duncan? Because Scott, you already have some other campaigns, you're used to it, but your first comic, I don't know. I remember my first comic and I was so nervous. How are you feeling?
I'm a little scared. I've never done anything like this before. But the campaign assets are moving along nicely. So I think that, Scott, the only thing I'm worried about is that campaign video, because I really want to launch with that. And of course, that's the one thing that comes in dead last. But as long as that comes in time for us to review and maybe do some revisions if needed. This is actually a character's name, not an IndieGoGo perk. It didn't dawn on me today that we actually have a character named Perk, and we give perks away. That's kind of,
he's our impulse.
We could have made him the mascot for the campaign, but it didn't dawn on me until right before this broadcast. So I'm nervous. Obviously I want to get this book made. We can't do it without some dedicated backers showing us some love. But hopefully, once people see what we've got here, it's a book that's worth getting made and supporting. And so hopefully we fund and hit some cool stretch goals for people, and we get this thing out to people at some point in 2021. How are you feeling, Scott?
No, I mean, so I'm less nervous. There is, there's a lot of people in crowdfunded comics that, they have campaigns that are cool, but they don't necessarily do as well as you think they should. And it really, and so I've always known about that, but I didn't realize how critical it is to be successful until it was my money that was paying for, door kickers. And so that was really kind of stressful, because, all these books, if you're, especially if you're a writer, right? Because the writing of all the creative, the writing is generally the one that is the cheapest. So if you're paying out of pocket for a pro penciler and a pro colorist and a pro art, letterer, I mean, that costs money. And, if you don't get to a certain level on your campaign, $10,000, $15,000, I mean, then you're paying out of pocket for that stuff. And so that's the point. So from the business standpoint, I have some apprehension, but here's the thing. I have no doubt that this campaign's gonna take off, because we've really got a lot of interest. And one of the things that's really kind of made me feel good is that people that don't follow me are liking my posts for this. So there's definitely interest from people that weren't on door kickers. So that's what's making me, feel a little better about this. So, and we still haven't tapped in to all my door kickers, backers, and hopefully awesome CGers like Carla here will retweet and share our information with their backers, and so we get that kind of network effect, and we drag it across the line. Who knows? Maybe we could get Carla to join the team, and maybe she could do a print, like a manga style print for us or something.
Would love to, yeah.
Well, we'll have to see about that. I mean, maybe that'll be one of our stretch goals to add a Carla print.
Woo!
Yeah, I threw up your Twitter address there. Did I spell your account name correct?
Yep, that's no H on the end.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way when I tagged you earlier this week, with an H on the end. Yeah, so that's one of the things that surprised me. Because I've been off of Twitter for 5 or 6 years. So it surprised me when I started sharing stuff out and retweeting your stuff, how much likes and retweets we were getting. So I was surprised to hear that they weren't people that were actually following you as well. I have exactly 30 followers, and I think that last week I only had 15. So it was encouraging to see that kind of engagement from people who don't have a relationship with either one of us. So that's that. Hopefully that translates into this property having legs. Big Fitz Becky here on the screen. She's backing it on day one, so we have that going for us.
Yeah, no doubt.
She'll be down for at least $25 for perk number 1.
Well, this is a good opportunity for us to mention that we've got, we're talking about the pre-order. So we've got the pre-launch page. So I would definitely encourage, anybody, probably in the description to this video, Duncan, you need to throw the link to our pre-launch page. Also, Carla, we'll get if you guys have a link, that we can throw into the description for this, we'll make sure that we, push some folks your way as well. And this is a good time talking about this.
Yeah.
Yep. So I got a link to Carla's IGG that I can put in the description. The pre-launch link for our own IndieGoGo campaigns are already there. So as soon as this broadcast ends, people will be able to click through to that. So sign up. We're dangerously close to having 100 people signed up. So we would love to have 100 people signed up so that we can send out our first newsletter and share some cool stuff. Yeah, man. So Scott, we've been running for almost 45 minutes here. Is there anything else you want to talk about? You want to talk about DC's cancellation of some of their major comic books?
I have to take off because I just got the high sign from Household 6 that I have something to do. So I just want to remind people that if they sign up for that mailing list, they're going to get an exclusive trading card that you only get. So if you sign up for the mailing list and then back the campaign, you will get that trading card, and that will be it. That with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 that myself and Duncan and maybe the team members will have, you will be the only people that get that trading card. And then in addition to that, you also get access to a secret perk that'll give you a discount to one of the pretty good perks that has all kinds of good stuff in it. And hopefully we can find a place for some Carla stuff in there too.
Definitely. I wanted to mention something else. I've seen all the art, and I know it's made by a Mexican artist. I actually created a little group inside Comicsgate of all the people that is Latino. So we actually have a show in Spanish. I don't know if you guys would like to promote it to the Latino audience. It will be awesome to have the artist of this project. Maybe I don't know how's your Spanish, guys, but I don't know. Just putting it out there in case you're interested.
No, I think that's a great opportunity.
Yeah. So Scott needs to run. So maybe we can talk about this after the broadcast, unless I accidentally disconnect you. But yeah. So both our cover artists, Eduardo Garcia, he's Mexican.
Yeah. I got to drop off, guys.
Well, yeah, Scott. Hey, thanks for putting this together. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, Carla. Always a pleasure to talk to you. I'll
Thank
chat with you
you.
later. All right.
Of course.
Duncan.
Thank you for having me on.
Yep.
Bet.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye. All right. Yeah. Like if you're interested in the idea, just let me know. I don't know if you have my Twitter handle, but you can just DM me and we can set something up.
Can you send it to me in private chat, and then we'll wrap this up, and we can maybe converse a little either on Twitter or
Definitely.
like that. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining us for the show. I'm glad Scott had a chance to introduce us.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, this has been my first clumsy attempt at a YouTube broadcast. So
It was
if
really good.
oh, thanks. Well, people like it. Maybe they can subscribe. So I have more than one subscriber. Scott doesn't count because we've known each other for 25 years. So yeah, so we should do this again. We should do this again soon.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. You take care.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.